So, just about 10 minutes ago, I was lying down in my bed. I was lying down, my eyes were starting to shut, and I was starting to doze off a little bit. Well, not even a little bit, actually, kind of a lot. I mean, I was borderline asleep. Just from having like my phone propped up and watching some videos, and as I was kind of dozing off like this, right? Out of nowhere, I shot open. I felt this adrenaline in my body. I didn't get up yet, but I felt the adrenaline. I felt the adrenaline rush. And I realized that, I'm sitting here, hang on, hold up. I'm sitting here and lying in my bed when I still got work to do, when I still got work that needs to be done. Now, it's kind of awkward because I have a morning work shift that goes from 5 to 8 or 9. And then I'll have a little midday break in between. And then I start my other shift at 3, but that's going to end starting next week, gratefully. But so it's kind of awkward. So I had this midday just break. And yeah, that's usually when I'll get a good chunk of my work done. And so what you might start seeing next week is sunrise morning workouts, or in the wintertime, sunset, snowy workouts. So a lot coming. Also more cool adventures. But the bottom line is that I had this awkward little break in between, and I was starting to doze off, and then my eye shot up. My eye shot open, and I realized that I still got work that needs to be done. And it wasn't just that realization, it's the motivation behind it. And the motivation, it's like I played this montage in my mind when my brain realized it was starting to doze off when it shouldn't be. I played this montage of like becoming a better man, of praying to God, of taking care of my family, saving my family from dangers and stuff like that, with my future wife and kids, saving them. This montage of helping and impacting so many people and motivating a lot of people. This montage of you got to get up, man. You got to get up and go do the work that you need to do. Right? So I started playing this montage of all these different kinds of things in my head that motivate me. I mean, also including fear of, not giving all the work that I'm doing, not giving it my all. Because if you don't give it your all, you never know what could have happened with it. But if you give it your all, you're going to find out what's going to happen with it, And so I just played this montage in my head, just of all these things that motivate me. And boom, just like that, I'm out of bed. I'm out of bed, and I'm driving over to where I am now. Now I just got to find a workout spot. Recording, right? As I'm recording, telling the story that just happened like 10 minutes ago, and going to find a workout spot. All of that from, let's go this way. All of that from a montage in my mind of motivations, of motivators, right? And it's such an interesting concept because that hasn't happened to me in a while. I've just been so used to just doing what I'm doing because I love it. And that's enough of a motivator in itself. It's just, doing what you really want to do because you love it, and just seeing what happens with it. And if it doesn't work out, then you have no regrets. You want to know why? Because of the fact that you love what you do. So even if nothing were to work out, hey, at least you could look back and say, I didn't waste any of my time because I enjoyed every minute of it. And of course, also like the results that you could possibly get from it too. Like I love working out outdoors, man. I do, I do it because I love it. But then also the results are like an extra bonus. And more bonuses of becoming a, better man. This kind of man that God wants me to be. I mean, that's actually more of just a life's purpose, but not really a bonus, just more of life's purpose. But I mean, from purpose to results to even more possible benefits, like finding a good wife and having good kids in the future and being able to help them because I'm stronger and I'm a bigger, better man. Just from working out and being able to tell stories of the adventures that I go on and see more of the world. I'm just doing these things that I love doing them, but they also bring great results too and great things as well. So that's enough of a motivator in itself. But don't get me wrong, there are some days where I do not feel like doing it. There are some days I just feel like dozing off, man. But the problem with just dozing off, right, when you know that you got stuff to do, is, right, God's word even says there's a time for peace and there's a time for war. It just says there's a time to work and there's a time for rest. I had my rest time last night, You can say, oh, Justin dozing off is like your body telling you you're not getting enough sleep. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm not getting exactly enough sleep. Or maybe as well, maybe it can just be laziness as well, you know? It could also just be that. And that's the thing, right? Is that I can't just assume I'm not getting enough sleep. You know, sometimes if you just don't feel like doing something, you get lazy, man. And there's been times where I've gotten lazy. I'm going to be real with you. That's what I'm here to do. I'm willing to bet there's been times you've got lazy, right? I mean, it's nothing necessarily to be ashamed of looking back, but it is something to learn from, because I could have easily dozed off. And that could have been it. I could have dozed off, and that's my afternoon. I missed out on a workout, missed out on a little adventure in this cool place that I'm in, missed out on recording a video, which I love doing, man. Missed out on, a Bible reading I could have done later. Yeah, like right before bed or something. But still, missed out on recording a Bible reading. Missed out on just being in the outdoors, getting some sunshine and fresh air, man. Is it worth resting for? Especially since I have rest planned every night, just like we all do, right? So that's the thing, man. That's the thing. Is that, yes, sometimes you need a little bit extra rest. But not all the time. Sometimes, you're just getting lazy. That's how I just was. I was getting lazy. And the thing about laziness, right, is that you miss out on a lot of opportunities when you get too lazy. You miss out on a lot of opportunities in life. And so, when you feel yourself starting to get lazier, like, oh, I don't want to do this, right? Dig down deep inside of you. Instead of letting your laziness win over you, just dig down deep inside of you and think about everything that's ever motivated you to do what you want to do or love to do or just need to do. Maybe you don't really love it, but maybe you know that you just need to do it. Right? Think about everything that's ever motivated you and play like a little montage in your mind. Remember all those things that motivate you. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Right? Whether it be working out and fitness, whether it be going on a mission in life and your life's purpose, whether it be just, improving yourself and becoming the kind of man that God's made you to be as a man. Whatever it may be, whatever it is that you have to do, no matter how much you love doing it, you're still going to have days where you just don't feel like doing it. Yet, deep down inside that you still need to do it even though you don't feel like it. Whether you love it or not, whether it's your life's purpose and mission or not, you're still going to get tempted by laziness. Right? Yes, there is a time to rest. I'm not saying to work 24/7. Don't do that. Balance out work with rest. But also, don't do too much work, but also don't do too much resting. Find that balance. And I know that me dozing off in the middle of the day when I have work to do, that's not trying to get more rest. That's me being lazy. And when you feel this way, man, whether you love or you don't like what you do or you just don't, you're kind of neutral about it. If you know that you need to do something, yet you don't feel like it, dig down deep inside of you every single time and find everything that's ever motivated you and play like a montage in your mind. I'm telling you, man, that stuff will get you up faster than an energy drink or a coffee ever will. And what's great about motivation is that it leads to discipline. So yeah, discipline is great and you need discipline, absolutely. Discipline becomes a lot easier when you do what you love, number one. Number two, even if you don't do what you love or you don't feel like doing what you love, discipline becomes a lot easier when you have motivation. So yeah, there's some people that are like, oh, motivation sucks, it's all about discipline. Like, yeah, it is about discipline, but if you can make discipline as easy as possible, so that way you're always on it. Like that's the way to go, man. That's the way to go, is playing the game smarter, not harder, right? So anything that's ever motivated you, right? Just dig down deep inside of you and bring it up, just pull it right out, man. Because motivation will get your adrenaline rushing faster than coffee or energy drinks or anything like that ever will. And motivation leads to the greatest kind of discipline. It really does. Motivation is a great thing, man. And you know what? One of my motivation is for laziness is that if I spend this time being lazy, right? If I skip this workout, if I doze off in the middle of the day, then I missed out on I missed out on great potential, man. I missed out on a great day that could have been, I missed out on a day that could have been a great day. I missed out on great potential. That workout could have been my best workout ever. That adventure could have been my best adventure ever. That self-improvement, all those good habits, spending time with God spending time with other people, whatever it may be, I could have missed out on some of the best times of my life, some of the greatest memories I could have possibly created. And even if this workout does turn out just to be another, good workout or another kind of basic day or whatever, okay, great, man. Great. Would I rather look back and say, I had another great day today, or I had another, pretty decent day today? Or would I rather look back and say my day sucked because I fell asleep in the middle of it because I let laziness get to me? And you know that when laziness gets to you, you know that you look back and regret it. When you skip a workout or you skip doing what you know that you need to do, you know that you look back and regret it, man. I know I sure do, every single time. Because I know that I'm just one more step behind now rather than one step ahead. And I know that I'm farther from achieving whatever it is that I need to achieve. And I'm farther from becoming, a better man than I would have been if I just done what I needed to do. That's the thing, right? Is that there's a time for work and there's a time for rest. If you do too much work and you become like a workaholic, then you start becoming angry and miserable. You start getting lonely because you can never make time for anyone. You start making your life all about work, and it becomes all about you, and then you become selfish and prideful. But if you make too much time for rest, then very simply, it leads from resting and relaxing and taking a break to laziness. That's what it leads to. So how do you prevent either one of these, right? Is that you do the work that you know that you need to do. And once you're done with that work, man, you could do a little bit extra, nothing, never hurt anyone. Do a little bit extra if you want to, but you also gotta, know when to stop. And then once you're done with your work, right, then that's your time to rest. Once you're done with your rest, that's your time to work. It's just like a back and forth cycle, man. Once you're done with your work, it's your time to rest, and then when it's time to work again, then you're done with your rest. So you just gotta have that balance, right? You've got to be able to discipline yourself to not be lazy, and also, if you love the work that you do, then to not work too much. You got to be able to discipline yourself to do that. Because if you don't rest, then your work's gonna, you're gonna, slacken your work a lot because you haven't gotten any rest. But if you don't work, then you're just gonna become lazy. So you got to balance it out, man, right? And it's as simple as just working until you're finished with the tasks that you need to do. Once you finish your task, once you've completed your responsibilities for the day, maybe you could do a little bit extra if you want to, right? But then once you finish that, it's time to rest. And resting doesn't always have to mean sleeping. I mean, it can mean just taking a nice break, even like taking a lunch break at work, right? Taking a little break, spending some time with people that you love and care about, right? To just finish your work, finish your tasks, finish your responsibilities for the day, and then after that is your time of rest, right? Including just hobbies or spending time with people, spending more time with God. And then when it's time to work again, that's how you know your rest is done, right? Or just when your rest is done, even if you start work a little bit earlier, hey, it's fine, man. It never hurts to get a little bit. Some days you're going to have to get a little bit less rest and a little bit more work. Some days you're going to be able to get a little bit more rest and a little bit less work. That's fine, as long as you're balancing it out to the point to where it's not becoming all work, which then you become a workaholic and you start making life all about you, and then you just become selfish and prideful. And trust me, it does not go down a good road. I've tried living that, hustle culture, work 20 hours a day, don't ever sleep. No, it doesn't go anywhere, man. It just leads you to a miserable life. And then at the same time, if you just make life all about resting and just resting and relaxing as much as possible, then it turns into laziness. And then that's where like depression and anxiety and mental health disorders start kicking in because you're not doing anything with your life. And then, things just spiral out of control in your mind. So you got to learn to balance work and rest. And whenever you're motivated or whenever you're not motivated to get up and go do the work that you need to think of everything that is ever motivated you, whether it's fear of missing out, whether it's remembering why you started, whether it's people around you or God or your goals or whatever it may be. There's so many things that motivate me, man. So many things. From purpose to results to fear of missing out to the people I love and care about that are counting on me to become the man that I need to become, becoming the man that God needs me to become. I know He's relying on me. So it's just like, this is all part of the journey, man. All part of the journey. And plus, if I didn't do these kind of habits, not only would I become less of a man, but I would also miss out, like I said, on the great outdoors, the adventure, the workout. I'd miss out on all that stuff, man. So that's the thing, right? Is just think of everything that's motivated you and pull it out, man. Don't be afraid to be motivated. Don't listen to those people that are like, oh yeah, motivation sucks. It's all about discipline. It's like, no, dude, motivation is absolutely awesome. That's the stuff that gets you up, every single day. That's the stuff that gets you out of bed. And if you don't have anything that motivates you, it's time to find something. Whether it be, God, especially, future wife and kids. I know that, fear of becoming someone that you're not meant to be, missing out on what you could be doing in this life, on the opportunities you could be taking on. So many things that can motivate you, man. Just find as many as possible. Play a little montage in your head. Sometimes I'll even think back to my past of like when I was really small and weak and I used to get bullied and picked on all the time. And I was just like the little nerdy kid in high school that like would be easily picked on and stuff. And I just remember him I just remember little Justin, younger Justin saying like, hey, current Justin right now, hey, younger Justin's relying on you to, become a bigger, stronger man, a better man. Not even just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. So, I just remember past Justin, younger Justin, who needed future Justin to become a better man for him, right? So I just anything, man. Motivation is awesome. Don't underestimate it. Learn to balance out work and laziness. And I'm telling you, you're going to become, not only are you going to become a better man in general, but you're just going to live a so much better, happier life. And life is actually going to, it's going to feel right, because it is right. That's how you do it, man. And oh man, when you learn to balance things out and, have your motivation balanced out with discipline, it's like when you balance things out in life, man, that's the key. When you balance out things, that's just where life gets to the best point it possibly could be. Now, we are here. So it is time to go find a good tree to do some pull-ups on. So let's go do that. Okay, so I'm going to record the kind of mini adventure first. Hopefully at least I'll feel a little bit less alone doing this, because I've been walking for a long time and it's led nowhere. It's kind of freaky in a way. And this path is pretty neat, it's pretty cool. But I've been walking for such a long time that I'm starting to question if I don't know where I'm at. Now, yeah, you follow this one path, but I'm talking about when you get all the way back down. And that one path on that hour-long video that I recorded the other day, I remember I was like, oh yeah, I want to go down by that river over there. I just don't know how to get there. Well, here we are. So this is like the river over here. But like I said, I've been walking for quite a bit now, and I'm questioning if I forgot where I'm at, which I pray to God that I know where I'm at. I got work in a couple hours. Actually, I think a little bit less, depending on the time. I haven't checked the time in a minute. So I better know where I'm at, because I can't be late to work. Now, more importantly, I also can't just be lost out in the forest. I've always thought to myself, I wonder how it would be spending a night in the forest or something like that, or camping, but I don't know if this is the place to do so. But at the same time, it definitely makes for a cool little mini adventure, if you will. I guess kind of being quote unquote lost. But I don't want to deem myself lost yet, because, unless I were to actually have zero clue whatsoever where I'm at in the next 15 minutes. But I figured that's why I would record this. Number one, feel a little bit less alone. Number two, take my mind off of the fact that I may or may not know where I'm at. But if I follow this path, I should be good. I've just been walking for such a long time that I'm forgetting if I turn left or right, like when I came onto this path or whatever. So that's basically what I'm questioning. And then I'm trying to think of all the other turns I made to get here too. So maybe I'm just getting in my own head at this point. But, on the bright side, it's a beautiful, beautiful look here. Beautiful look over here. Other than that, it's so peaceful, man. There's no one. It's just me, at least that I know of. It's just peaceful. Like, I don't even hear the sound of the water running, barely. Now over here is where I believe I came from, so should be pretty good. If I am correct, that is. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna enjoy the sounds of nature, and also a what sounded like a laughing bird that I heard. The only problem that I was having this whole time is I couldn't find a dang tree to do pull-ups on. And I really wanted to get in some pull-ups today. But if unable, we'll just have to stick with push-ups, which is still good. It still hits good. Push-ups, they still hit good. But you know, it's been a little while since I did some pull-ups, so hey, why not at least give it another go? But that's why I don't necessarily like having like requiring pull-ups in my routine, just because of the fact that if you're gonna do it outdoors, like, you have to find a kind of perfect tree. Now I had this rope here. So what I plan to do is throw it around a branch if I see one, and climb up it to be able to latch onto that branch and do some pull-ups. I think I know where I'm at now. I think we're pretty good. So I didn't want to deem myself lost yet. I feel like if I were to say, nah, I was good, then I would have actually gotten lost. Whereas if I'm like, ooh, man, kind of afraid of being lost, then I'll find my way back. You know, it's like some reverse psychology. You know, it's like you say, oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to win $1 million on this ticket. No, actually, no, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible, what am I trying to say? That's a terrible comparison, because you can never win $1 million in a ticket. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a reverse psychology thing. You know, say, oh, yeah, I'm going to be totally fine. I'm not going to get lost. Then you end up getting lost. But if you say, oh, man, I'm afraid of being lost, then you find your way back. You know, that kind of thing. But all for jokes, of course. The only problem I'm having here is, again, I cannot seem to find a good tree to do pull-ups on. And each path that I came to has this sign, if you can see it right there, basically saying, hey, don't go any farther than this. It's off limits. And while, yeah, I probably could, I highly doubt there's a cop waiting around the corner to ticket me. I don't want to play that game. Oh, I'll be totally fine, because then, you know, what'll happen is that some cop will probably come out and ticket me. You know, one time I was working out, not back here, but it was in the same general area. It was just in a different spot. And I remember I was doing pull-ups with these, well, they were calisthenics gym rings, and I was doing pull-ups, and then out of nowhere, just on the path, I knew I heard voices, so I looked over where I heard them, and about a little bit off in the distance, I'm not good with measurements, so I won't even try, but a little bit off in the distance, I saw 2 cops walking with like some guy, and then they both looked at me, and then I heard the talking stop, but I just continued my workout. And when I did continue this workout, right, eventually, you know, they walked more and more. They came up to me. They caught up to me there, and then they were like, hey, what's going on, man? And I was just like, oh, nothing much, you know, just enjoying a good little workout here, you know. And they were like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, they were nice and friendly and everything, they were, but they just ended up telling me that I can't do the workouts out there. I can't do them out there. And they didn't say why, but one can only imagine, like, okay, having ropes around a tree, it's like in the middle of the forest. It's like, yeah, you know, it can, even though they saw me working out, it's just, you know, it can, you just, you know, you got to look at it from the cop's point of view. It's like they just see this random guy just working out in the middle of the forest. No one's ever out, like, in that part. I mean, who actually does that? Yeah, and they see the guy with, like, you know, has these ropes, even though he's using them for gym rings, right? You just still see a guy in the middle of the forest with ropes. It's like, you know, as a cop, you know, you always want to try to protect the safety of the public. So yeah, it's understandable why he told me, hey, you can't do that out here. He was nice about it. He was friendly, and, you know, just told me to have a good day and everything. But the bottom line behind all this is that, you know, I could see myself going past those, you know, do not go past this limit sign, and a cop just comes out of nowhere, out of the blue, falls from the sky, and gets me a ticket. So bottom line behind this, that's why I'm not risking something like that. At the same time, too, it's just not really right, you know? It's just not right. You just, you know, yeah, it's kind of like, oh, boo, I want to go explore and pass there. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you know, hey, that sign's my warning saying don't do this. So I might as well take the warning instead of potentially facing a bigger consequence. Which, yeah, the chances are is likely not just cops out there or anything. But at the same time, it's not guaranteed. So, I ain't trying to get ticketed. So that's kind of the bottom line behind that story. Now, what I'm gonna do from here is try following this other path. So yeah, thankfully, I know where I'm at. We're looking good. We're feeling good. But I'm gonna try following another path and seeing if I can at least just find a gosh dang tree to throw this rope on, do some push-ups or pull-ups. If not, I'll revert over to doing push-ups and yeah, not worry about pull. But because at the same time, you know, push-ups and different variations of push-ups and calisthenic skills, they all hit your upper body, you know, they all do. And that's what matters. Is I'm not trying to be the next Mr. Olympia or anything, right? The next bodybuilding champion. But I am just trying to get a good workout and keep myself fit and in shape and keep my muscle there. So, you know, if it comes down to it, there's nothing wrong with push-ups at all. I just figured, hey, when I try some pull-ups, it's been a minute. But if I can't find what I need to do the pull-ups, then can't really do them. So hope you're enjoying this little, you know, little mini adventure and talk segment. It's pretty cool because this trail, there's so much more. And I don't know if you remember my previous video, but where I was exploring all around the one area that I was in, and I was telling you like, hey, you know, I first discovered this, I believe it was back in COVID, but I only ever knew about the one path. That's all I ever knew about, was just the one path. Here. Okay. I was telling you, all I ever knew about was just the one path on that whole area that I was in. And then all I did was started exploring around, and boom, I have 3 new workout spots. I have a nice rollerblading spot, you know. So, you know, with this path that I'm on, there's a public path, kind of. It's either back that way or back that way somewhere, but it's quite a length back. It's just a big old public trail. And I discovered that one was definitely before COVID. I remember going there with the same girlfriend I went with to that one other path, but I remember it was definitely before COVID. So I discovered that one before COVID, and it wasn't until recently I started exploring around the area, and boom, now I discovered like this path back here. You know, I discovered that one spot that got closed off, and then there was more spots, you know, back down there where I was not too long ago, where it just kind of came from, and then that little path by the river where I almost just got lost on. So it just goes to show, man, there's a lot more in this world than just what you see. You just got to be willing to be the one to step outside of it and say, you know, you got to be the one willing to step outside of it and say, hey, I'm going to explore a little bit farther and see what happens, see where this journey takes me. And that's how you're going to start discovering more. That's how you're going to start discovering a lot more, is when you just step outside of what you see and just go beyond what you think the limits might be. Obviously, as long as, you know, you're being cool, you're being safe and everything, right? Not causing trouble, whatever. But there's a lot more to be adventured and explored, man. Speaking of that, yeah, I don't think that there's a good pull-up tree, at least not that I saw, unless I were to walk all the way in the brushes. But you know, maybe in the wintertime I'll do something like that, but not going through all this in the summer, man. Too much out there. So I might just have to stick with the good old-fashioned push workout. Hey, which is cool, man. You know, I love my good old-fashioned push workouts. You know, pull maybe another day then, because it looks like, unless there's something at that tree down there, I'll just go to that tree, and if nothing, I'll just do a good old-fashioned push workout. That is what I'll do. So let's take a walk down to that tree and see if there's anything. Now, I came from there down to this tree, which it appears that there's not a good thing to throw. At least, I mean, yeah, like that. Nah, it wouldn't have been good because it's too thick, but you know, it's too high too. So there's not a good branch to throw the rope around. But boy, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. We got to go see what's in there. We got to go see what is in here. Can't help myself, man. Can't help myself. So will be our last spot, and if not, push-ups for sure. Which I'm afraid that's what it's coming down to, but at the same time, like I said, not bad at all. Nothing bad. Ugh. We'll see what's back here. Oh my gosh. Here we are, a whole nother world. Look at that. If that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. Whole nother world back here, just from going through there. Nice, man. Jackpot. But at the same time, is there a branch anywhere? I don't think so. I think it's gonna come down to the red sign again. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, what the heck? What is going on with this place, man? This place used to be all open to everything. It's probably me that got it shut down. Them cops that one day were like, nah, this kid's back here too much, bro. We gotta shut this place down. Oh, let's see what's back here. And I will say too, as much as I love this place, I don't necessarily think this is the greatest summer place, if I'm being honest. I know I just came here, but if I think about it, you know, because I'm not into ticks and poison ivy and all that, right? I'm not into that stuff. Definitely a cool, like, spring, winter, like late fall exploring spot. But when I think about it, I don't know if this is the greatest place for summer explorations and workouts is back here. Yeah, just because of the fact of ticks, poison ivy, other goofy stuff like that. So I don't know. Just something I thought about, and I'm just like, this might not be the greatest place for summertime. So, at the same time, with these parts not being blocked off, I may refrain from coming back here as much as I have been and used to in the past. I might refrain from that, and you know, just stick with some other spots, or even try some new spots, but ones that aren't super foresty or anything like that. Or I might walk that public trail and then just see if there's any other spots back there, at least that are not closed off or full of potential ticks or poison ivy or whatnot. But yeah, it's possible I might refrain from this place for a little bit, starting soon. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with the push-ups. All right, let's go back, shall we? Yep, this is definitely cool while it lasted. You know, I saw a lot of those red signs and stuff. So yeah, I think it might just be safest to at least not come back, at least to this, like, to all these sections that I know are pretty much blocked off and all sprouted up for the summer and everything. And you know, I might just give it until fall time to come back. Maybe those signs will be taken down. Obviously, it'll be better in terms of exploration. So I might just have to give it till then. And in the meantime, right? Hey, nothing bad. You know what we just do in the meantime? We try new places, new adventures. So nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to refrain from this place a little bit, just because of everything, you know. So again, I'll see you for the workout. And you would not believe it, but while I was on the way to my good old workout spot, tell me that's not beautiful, I saw a police car driving, like, from this back area. So there it is. But at the same time, hey, when you got something like this, especially a workout in, can't complain one bit. Even if I didn't get to explore the other parts, or I'm not going to be really coming back here as much. Maybe like under this pavilion part, for, you know, this is so peaceful and so nice, man. But maybe under here. But I'm talking about like you know, out there and back there. And we'll save that for fall time or winter time. Explore and venture around other new places in the meantime. Of course, even revisit some old places too. But yeah, when you got something like this, it's just that's beautiful. And you can only imagine it, you know, how it would be in person. So, all right. We're going to get to this workout. What do we got? We got push. Hold up. There we go. Perfect. We got push and got the weighted vest. Just like I said I might do. I had to get this thing out, man. You know, I just saw it looking at me in my trunk saying like, hey, please use me. So, you know, I had to get it out. It was calling my name. But yeah, we got a good old fashioned push workout. So, going to be doing all different kinds of push-ups and you know, the best way to get in one of these push workouts, if you're going to do body weight workouts, or just calisthenics, body weight, indoors, outdoors. Best way to do these kind of things, what I've learned over the course of doing them, over the many months I've spent doing it, is that you do it in circuits. So you do one thing, you push till your max, and then you go on to the next thing, push till your max. And with push-ups, I just do a bunch of different kinds that I can think of, because each kind of push-up, yes, it hits your upper body for sure. Push-ups, they hit mostly, or like mainly chest, triceps, shoulders, traps, but they also hit back, they hit biceps, so they hit that too, right? And you just got to think of as many different kinds of push-ups as you can do, and do them one after another, and keep on going, man, until you run out of push-ups to do, until you've ran out of push-up ideas, or until your body just can't push anymore. So if you do like a regular push-up, right, that's just going to target your whole chest. If you do incline push-ups, it's going to target your upper chest, decline lower chest. You do wide grip, that's going to hit the outer chest, close grip, inner chest. Sometimes I'll do plank to push-up, so I'll start at a plank, or what I like to call a Superman sometimes, and then I'll go into a push-up and then do that, and then go back into a plank or a Superman and go back into a push-up, right? So I'll do that. You do tricep push-ups, you could do shoulder/trap push-ups, they're called pike push-ups. There's so many different kinds of push-ups you can do, and that's what I love, man. Like that's what I love, is that there's just so many different kinds. You can't run out. Even if you try to, you can't run out. And just the more that you do, the more that you really push your body, man, the more it hits, the more sore you become, the better of a workout you get in, and you're looking good. So yeah, man, I think that's it. Now, I'm still debating on whether I want to keep push and pull separate or add them together, because I do know of a couple spots where I can go for pull, but it would have to be the same spot every time, which isn't like that big a deal, but I am an adventure soul. So, hey, sometimes I feel like my heart, like my soul calling me to go to one spot, but then there wouldn't be a push, like a pull-up bar in that spot. And on top of that, even with those couple pull-up spots that I do know, if something were to happen to them, like my old pull-up spot where I used to do the gymnastics rings, they got shut down, right? If something were to happen to those spots, then it's like, oh shoot, now I gotta go and actually find another reliable spot. And anything could happen, because tree branches, they could snap at any time, places can close down the area. So it's like realistically, would pull be something that I can genuinely stick with on a weekly basis, twice a week? Or is it something that I throw in with push when I find a good pull-up bar, right? As push hits good enough. That's just what I'm thinking about. But, as long as you're hitting your muscle groups, right? As long as you're hitting your muscle groups and you're pushing as hard as you can, you're loving the workouts that you do so much to the point to where you keep coming back, and discipline feels a lot easy. Because the whole point of working out, man, is discipline and consistency, right? Like, you're not going to build any muscle or lose any weight or gain any weight. You're not going to hit your fitness goals if you can't stay consistent. If you can't even do the workout. So instead of trying to focus on having the Mr. Perfect workout, right? I think the perfect workout is the one that works best for you. The one that gets you to your fitness goals, but also that you love so much to where you can't stop doing it if you tried. Or at least, if there's no workout that you genuinely love, because you love sitting in your bed all day, then at least the workout that you can tolerate for years without any real complaints or anything like that, right? So that's just it, man. And I'm hitting my upper body, I'm hitting my lower body. That's what matters. I'm hitting my upper body, hitting my lower body, making sure to hit my abs. I'm hitting cardio. So I'm hitting all these things on a weekly basis. So that's the bottom line. And I can stick with this workout for as long as eternity lets me. As long as I'm here alive on this planet. Because I can do it anytime, anywhere, right? So that's the good thing about push. You can literally do it anytime, anywhere. Whereas pull, you're gonna need that specific, right? The branch has to be straight and it has to be the right height, otherwise you can't reach it. And it has to be the right thickness, because if it's too thick, then you can't even grip your hands around it, which you might have seen in some of my OG videos. And if it's too thin, then it's gonna break off, right? So the branch kind of does have to be perfect. That's the only downside to pull. The only other option would be I go to a park or something, either really early in the morning or really late at night when there's no kids around, because otherwise I'm not going to go to some park and just be like this dude doing pull-ups or something on the monkey bars while the kids are like, hey, I just want to swing on them, bro. So that would be my only other option. And on top of that, I don't know how I feel recording in a park, even if I'm alone. Yeah, not really my style. So, that's the question is, can I find enough pull-up bars to be able to stick with, or enough pull-up branches to be able to stick with pole, you know, for so long? Or do I just call it upper body and lower body alternating on a daily basis, alternate between upper body and lower body, and then if I just so happen to find a good pull-up branch, then I just throw that in with my push workout. And even while I do cardio, which you don't see here, I know I do that separately on my own. But sometimes I'll be running and I'll see like a good branch, so you know I could just start doing them on there. There's been times where I've been on a run and I'll just see a good branch and I'll just start doing them on there, right? But it's not necessarily in a spot that I can, you know, it's more like a public spot, so recording would be, it just wouldn't really be ideal. Not like super public, but public enough to where people could just show up anytime. So that's the thing, right? Is that, you know, it can be kind of tricky with the pole to be, you know, for certain 100% consistent twice a week every week. That's the only hard part about it. Whereas pushing legs, I know 100% I can, you know. Yeah, so that's just my little speech. It's my little fitness speech. Pick the workout, not the one that's absolutely, you know, super pitch perfect, but the one that gets you to your fitness goals and that you can stick with for many years, no questions asked. And between push and legs, I know that that's the kind of workout I definitely can. Whereas I think pull is just something that I'll have to throw in here and there, unless I genuinely were to come across like a really good branch or something that I know is like, oh yeah, it's gonna be there for a while. It's not gonna get shut down. I can actually record here, so stuff like that, right? Just pick the workout that will get you to your goals and that you can stick with for a long, long time. That's and that you enjoy the most. That's the bottom line. So, as much as I would love to just, you know, look out into nature and really enjoy the beauty, I got a workout to do. I can do that after. So let's get to it. I will tell you, it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world in 80-degree heat. But the wind does, the little bit of wind that there is, it does feel pretty good, you know. Well, that's kind of like an example of one of my circuits. No, I'll show the whole thing. I'll probably do like another set or two in this weighted vest, and then at least do one set without the weighted vest, so that way I can get in some skills with it too. A couple of skills, so let's get back to it. Shoot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Time to go a little bit without the vest. Like, that hits hard. Is that what it's like to work out when you're pregnant? I'm telling you, man, them ladies are tough. They are. Them women are tough, man. Well, I also haven't done like a weighted vest workout in a long time. So definitely it's kind of like getting back in the hang of things. It hits extra hard, you know. It's like going back to school on your first day. It hits extra hard, it's worse, but you know, it will get used to it and build over time. I think I could definitely use this now. I think this is definitely gonna be a good necessity. I'm definitely feeling more of a burn, and like more of a push in my muscles, which is great, man, because you want to feel that burn, you want to feel that push. And so just having this, I think it gives it an extra booster that, you know, since I have it, I might as well use it, man. Why not, you know, make the most of what you got. And so even if I just do it a couple or a few sets right into the rest without it, it's like, hey man, we're good. You know, that's good. It's, you know, a little extra boost, you know, never hurt anyone, but definitely tough. At least definitely compared to without doing it. But now that I'm a couple sets in, it's gonna be pretty hard to do it even without.
I want to at least, at least show a handstand, at least do a handstand. Whoa. And then we'll do that in the physique check, and then I'll finish that up, and then we'll go to the car for Bible reading. So let's do that real quick. Okay. Physique check, and then I'll finish that I'll finish the workout up on my own, and then to the car for the Bible reading. So. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough. So I'm gonna finish this thing up, but I will see you back at the car for the Bible reading. All right, leaving off where we left off at Mark 2. So of course, read a little bit of it, and we'll go from there. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting there, thinking to themselves, "Why does this fellow talk like that? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Immediately Jesus knew in his spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts, and he said to them, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier, to say to this paralyzed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up, take your mat, and walk'? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." So he said to the man, "I tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home." He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone, and they praised God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." And we'll continue off in Mark 2:13 for next time. And yeah, man, it's so cool of Jesus, right? He's just like, hey, what's easier, to basically say, hey, get out of here, or to say, hey, your sins are forgiven, right? Jesus, very loving, and us men ought to be more like him, you know? We don't got to be Mr. Macho Man, you know, Mr.
Mr. I'm the biggest, coolest dude out here. It's like, dude, I've met big guys, like really jacked big guys, right? That people would be afraid to look at him. Actually, one of the biggest guys I met, he's one of the happiest guys I've ever seen in the gym. When I used to go to the gym, he was one of the happiest guys around. Never walked without a smile on his face. He's always super friendly. My dad, he's super big. He's huge. Like my dad's really big. He's got muscle, man, and he's one of the happiest fellas I've come across. And of course, I live with him too, right? So I got to see the happy side and everything. But he'll just make jokes that make me laugh out of the blue all the time, and even during his hard times, he's been doing really good about like keeping a smile on his face and at least keeping the attitude as positive as can be. So it's, just because you're Mr. Big Jacked, or because you got muscle, or because you're masculine and you're a tough guy, doesn't mean you have to, doesn't mean you can't be loving and soft and caring at times, man. You just got to learn to balance out that kind of hardcore side, right? Like that get to work, hard work, discipline side with the loving and caring and kind side, right? You just got to balance them out. You have too much of one side, then you start to kind of lose your masculine drive. But then if you have too much of that masculine drive, then you can kind of go into the realm of becoming darker or even more of a jerk or whatever. So again, goes back to the lesson of you balance things out, and that's where the magic happens in life, is when you learn to balance things out. But yeah, other than that, that's been the mission for today. So that all being said, I'll see you tomorrow to continue our mission.